Welcome back, everybody. It's more Carthage League of Legends. Today with my constant co-host, Tony. Tony, how's it going?
It's going. Had a very nice fall break and ready to get back into it. How about you?
I feeling much of the same. Enjoying the cooler weather and excited for some Red Team League of Legends here. Getting to the draft, Gwen Ban. We've seen it. We know what it does. Ready to go. Plays it so well. Continues to have played it well, despite some hiccups during the last week on the Gwen in particular. Still, obviously, other teams see it as something that they want to get rid of right away. So,
for sure, it has a lot of true damage to it, so it's a really smart choice.
Zillion, another thing that's being taken away here. It's something that I've kind of been waiting for teams to start taking away from Carthage. It's a super powerful pick. They've shown that it's a team comp that they like playing around with this Zillion. So maybe trying to take them out of their comfort zone a little bit, getting rid of that Zillion, forcing Proliferate onto a different support. Just starting to see the game plan play out here for NECC.
For sure. I mean, it's gonna be a bummer not seeing Zillion like at the start of the season. Like I didn't even know what Zillion did, but now
You've
just
learned.
like I'm like that is just so standard for us.
It is. It absolutely is. But it is far from the only thing that you can play down there. He's got a myriad of different choices.
That's a nice word.
Thank you. I worked on that one. Fiora also banned for Raven the Goat here. Something that he hasn't played a ton or hasn't gotten a chance to play a ton, but certainly a strong pick.
For sure, most definitely. So it looks like I already know what top lane is going to be from my mind. I'm going to keep it a little secret in my head. Okay. But I'm not liking this Renata Glass ban. Not very cool. Not very nice.
Pick. Very strong pick. Good with a lot of different champions. Callista in particular. Aphelios also, two champions that you love to see the Renata with. Another lane they're going to be taking away is that Caitlyn lane. Very oppressive, incredibly strong in lane. Has the ability to put the opposing ADC down 20, 30 CS just purely from the pressure that her range is alone. Along with the headshot passive, it's a very strong pick. But then Aatrox picked up here for NECC.
Oh, very interesting. Now I don't know what Raven the Goat's gonna play.
There's a lot of different options. Some of the common ones are Jax. Jax is solid. Wouldn't be surprised if
Shyvana.
Shyvana. I do like Shyvana. I like her a lot. I think she's a very good champion. I think she's definitely underutilized.
For sure.
Especially in the jungle. You see a lot more top Shyvana in a higher level play than you jungle Shyvana, as you see essentially zero jungle Shyvana. But top Shyvana is... Do not sleep on it. Incredibly bulky once you at level 6. Very, very high damage. It is a monstrous pick. If you let this thing get ahead, it will run over games. So...
And correct me if I'm wrong, Shyvana is also kind of like a shapeshifter, turns from kind of like a human form into a giant dragon.
Correct, yep. So when you use your ultimate, you transform to that dragon form, you get empowered abilities. In particular, the one you want to watch out for is her E. Big fire blast. It lays down a little circle on the ground that does a ton of damage over time, but it does crazy damage to these squishier champions, like the Azir, also picked up here. So this is a very standard pick here from NECC, especially the Trundle into the Sejuani. I think that picking that Trundle, they should have been looking out for it. Carthage should have been more aware that Trundle was an option, because Trundle into Sejuani is a very rough matchup.
Is it mainly? I'm not too well aware of Trundle, but does a lot good of slowing nearby? Is that the big thing that we're looking at?
Well, Trundle has a pillar that can disrupt the dash of Sejuani, so that's one thing. Another, Syndra now picked up, good into Azir, very good scaling. We saw it last week.
For sure.
Sejuani, the main thing, though, is Sejuani's passive. So she hasn't been hit in a specific amount of time. She gains these extra resistances. But Trundle's ultimate, Subjugate, actually steals some of these resistances. I believe it's like 33% of armor and magic resistance. So
it just kind of makes it obsolete then.
Yeah, exactly. So you're stealing the higher stats that the Sejuani will have, just means the stronger this Trundle will be. So he will be extremely tanky if he's able to ult this Sejuani. Also into Shyvana, pretty good as well. You're usually building a tank. Usually building a tank Shyvana. So just trying to find ways to let this Azir and this Aatrox do more damage to the Sejuani and Shyvana. I think this Trundle's a good pick.
For sure, yeah. And it looks like Rel just got banned along with Yuumi. Very nice.
No, Yuumi definitely makes sense. For viewers at home here, the red ban, the one that's covered up, that would be a Misfortune ban. Very safe champion. I'd say pretty good with what they have picked so far. They have a lot of really good area control, so any sort of choke point that Carthage is trying to walk through, it would be almost impossible if they pick that Misfortune up. So just trying to stop that sort of oppressive objective control. It's a very good ban, especially with this Yuumi. This champion's a menace. I mean, it looks like a little cat, but it'll win you games if you just let it sit unchecked for long enough. So very worthy ban. As far as the Rel, is something we've seen Proliferate play a ton with the Samira in particular. So they're opting not to ban out the Samira, but instead the Rel. They see the Rel as the more important part of that duo.
Yeah, for sure. It's a really strong combo together. And it looks like the last ban was Ezreal. I think I just got the glimpse of it. Yeah, but I was thinking that was going to be the comp that we were going to try and go for, like Samira and Rel together. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting what we're going to pick up now for the bot lane. I'm guessing something with Leona?
Leona would be a bad idea. Lucian Nami is still up. That's something we've seen them play quite a bit. The Jinx is still up. Jinx plus Enchanter. Lulu is an incredibly strong pick that I haven't seen them go with. Kai'Sa is a very strong champion also, something you absolutely have to watch out for. So far, I'm really liking what Carthage has put together. You get a lot of peel and engage from the Shyvana and the Sejuani, and then you have the Kai'Sa Syndra, which is able to just kind of output a lot of this DPS, this burst damage in particular. Samira Nautilus, that's extremely standard. Samira is actually something that was very commonly picked into Kai'Sa. So a year ago at MSI, it was mainly like Samira Kai'Sa kind of meta. So you saw a ton of these matchups, and I think it was kind of determined that you want to be on the Samira side of this matchup just because the lane is a little bit stronger, and late game you have a little bit more pop-off potential. The Leona is another thing that you could pick with the Samira. Indiana Tech feels that this Nautilus is a little better. I believe because of the single target CC you're able to put out, you can drop the ultimate, the Nautilus ultimate, onto this Kai'Sa, so she isn't able to really escape. She's going to be knocked up, and your team will have the chance to follow up.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit scary in the bot lane. It looks like from what you're saying. I'm definitely more scared of the Samira Nautilus. Just with that fact, and Leona against it. I have faith into it.
It's a very slight edge that people give this Samira lane, just because once you hit level 6, you usually will win those 2v2 encounters. But until then, it still is a skill matchup. It's still very tough. You have a lot more poke from the Kai'Sa. I think she has slightly more range. And you definitely have more DPS. So if you don't get like a good bursty combo off for the Samira, then the Kai'Sa will be able to win the trade.
For sure.
I think the Leona's a really good pick also, into the Nautilus in particular, because if you're able to just kind of stand in front of your ADC, you just press W, you gain all those extra resistances. All of a sudden, you just hooked a CC bot right next to your ADC, and that's really dangerous. But something else to look at, this Trundle, he's got a ton of options to ult from, which you'd usually think, great, like I have 3 people who I can click R on, and I will gain a ton of resistances, provide a lot of benefits to my team. But this is actually kind of tough now because you have so many players with this amount of resistances that the tank can just kind of step back for a little bit, wait it out, or even just kind of go all in, dump all of its spells on whoever they need to. And it doesn't provide as much value. Usually, Trundle's best into these one tank comps where you can have a clear cut, this is the person I'm ulting, we get rid of this person, and we move on to the next target. With here, there's so much bulkiness. It could provide a little bit of an issue in these team fights.
And I think that's really great compared to, because I think it was last week that we had some problems with that bulkiness. In this one now we have a lot of extra protection, a good front line and a good back line. So I'm very interested to see what's going to happen with that.
Yeah. I mean, it's been interesting going from casting last year to casting this year. We've seen a lot more meta comps this year. I feel like the drafting in general has really improved going from last year into this year. And it's really good to see. I mean, these are 2 teams that I could absolutely see being picked by like a professional League of Legends team. Yeah. So it's definitely fun to see.
Yeah, and just like I'm just starting to, my roommate's trying to get me to watch more of these professional things, and I kind of see that. It's kind of nice seeing like how those synergies are, and but the most surprising thing by far is that I'm very excited to see this Shyvana. Is that I've seen Raymond go play it a few times, so it's going to be exciting. I always love seeing Sejuani on the board. Great arc, great crowd control, and just great engage for team fights. And Leona backing them up. I'm really excited for this.
Oh, I absolutely am too. But as far as who won draft, I'm looking at Carthage here. I'm saying they've won draft here. I think that they have a lot of options to deal with the Samira. The main issue with Samira is that although you have that incredible teamfight ultimate, it has one weakness, and that is point-and-click CC that she cannot block with that wind wall. And we've got a ton of it. You have the Leona ult, you have the Leona Q, you have Sejuani running into, you have Shyvana clicking R.
Yeah.
So you have just a ton of options to stop this Samira from really getting going in a team fight and essentially just winning it on the spot. So I think they've drafted really well around this Samira. And I think this Kai'Sa could have a very good chance to pop off too, just because they have so much peel. They have the Shyvana who can push people away with that ultimate, and then kind of zone, just being essentially a big meat shield for this Kai'Sa. But I really like what the Carthage has done with this draft.
Yeah, for sure. I would say so. I'd agree with you as well. I'm just a little bit nervous, like seeing the Aatrox, seeing the Samira Azir, and Nautilus. Those are ones that whenever I'm playing my games, it's like, oh no. That is scary, and I haven't seen too many Trundles, so I'm gonna see how that works along with it.
Trundle is good into this team. It's just in team fights, he's gonna be slightly less effective than if they just had one tank that they needed to hold this whole team comp together. But they have so many different choices of frontline. It's kind of irrelevant who he ults at this point. For sure. You can get that pick on them, but you have to commit so much while walking into this fantastic front-to-back team fight that Carthage has created. That could be it could be a little bit difficult. The positive side for NECC is they have a lot of chances for counterplay. They have this Azir, they have this Nautilus, both champions that can get on top of the carries of Carthage super easily. It is not difficult at all to find a flank on this Azir. He has so much mobility, especially if you have the flash up, to get the Emperor's Divide, to get that ultimate and push those carries into your team to give you a chance.
I was just about to note on that too, yeah.
Exactly. So
it's all about just like setting themselves up, because I think what we said last week is that just separating the team up in two different fights and then moving forward with that. I think that Azir is going to be helpful along with that Nautilus for them.
It certainly will.
But for us as well, is that, it's hard for us to move that much with all that good front line.
It is. It's definitely a contrast of styles. You definitely see, I see NECC looking for more of like split pushy, like sure your team fight's good, but you have to commit so hard. I feel like Carthage in these 5v5 team fights with the Shyvana there, with all of these fantastic ults available, I feel like they have the edge in these team fights around objectives. The issue is NECC has so much of this zone control, so actually walking towards the objectives, little choke points that you see on the map, they have so many ways to kind of poke you down to get that little chip damage that they may need to win the team fight. So
for sure.
While I do give Carthage the edge as far as draft, it's going to be a very difficult team to play against if they don't know the strengths of their team and what they're really looking for out of these team fights.
Yeah, I'm nervous as always, but I'm very excited to see what's gonna happen.
Absolutely. Here now, after draft, gonna take our short little spectator delay break. Be back with you for this exciting set, Carthage versus NECC. See you then.
See your future on the horizon? So do we.
It's really just the greatest college experience I could have asked for.
What really drew me in was having an adventure.
I think something really unique about Carthage is that it constantly pushes you outside of your comfort zone.
At Carthage College, we will push you to dive deep, to channel your curiosity, and excel in your chosen field.
It's been like an individual journey through collaborative effort. And so overall, this has been my college experience, but so many people that I've met have been supportive along the way, and they're all looking out for you. So that's really why it feels like a family.
As you ignite your true potential and start asking the hard questions, you'll find the answers are just the beginning. That's the moment your purpose comes into view.
We are really able to get great one-on-one action with our professors. So you can't hide in your classroom. You're always actively participating.
You'll get recommended for things that you might not have ever been interested in before, and you end up realizing that that might be your passion.
Everyone here is just so nice, so welcoming. It's really easy to make friends here at Carthage. The biggest change was going from student to young business professional.
I love Carthage.
It's definitely the people.
Living on the lake is amazing.
I feel very prepared for my future.
Ended up surpassing my expectations.
Some things you just need to see for yourself. Come take a closer look at Carthage College.
Everybody know I got down. Get down. Talking, got down. Get down. Talking, got down. Get down. Talking, got down.
All right, welcome back. Getting into this game here, excited, ready for some more League of Legends.
Oh, I'm excited, especially seeing one of my favorite new skins, Azir Worlds 2022.
Indeed, it's definitely a good skin. Came out during Worlds, obviously. Worlds themed, very good. Get a little bit of freeze here, but that's okay. That allows us to stop a little bit and actually talk about what's going on. So you see a lot of pings going on. You see a lot of dots. So what's going on here is blue team, Indiana Tech, is trying to get into that top side and get a little cheeky little kill onto Raymond the GOAT. Whereas you see red team here, Carthage, has got the counter invade going on the bot side. So if Indiana Tech were to walk through into the blue buff, in towards the bot side jungle of the Firebirds, they would see them first and it would have the advantage in that team fight. But I doubt that they'll actually see each other here. So I guess we'll just we'll see how that goes. Unfortunately, the support popped that the sweeper a little bit early, so they did not see that they were on vision. So now Carthage has a little bit of extra information to know where all 5 members are. But really, nothing much is going to happen from this play.
They're just stretching their legs a little bit, taking a little road trip, you know?
Just checking out what's going on in the red side jungle of the Firebirds. So
you know, they're wilderness explorers. They had to.
They are. They still are. That is true.
Look at him. He even has a little outfit for it too, doing a little bit of.
He's a baseball player.
Who's that kid from the movie? The Russell.
Oh, okay. I can see it.
Wilderness explorer.
All right. So both junglers are gonna be starting at the top side, both trying to get those ADCs ahead. I think that's the correct play. I think that Sejuani has a slightly better chance of getting that done just because Leona's engage is a little bit more reliable, as well as the Kai'Sa has a little bit more damage in the early game. But looks like they're going to have the push here. So their wave is going to be farther towards Indiana Tech's side, so it'll be slightly easier for Trundle, for Zaphius Darkwood. Wow, what a username to come into the bot side and potentially pick up a kill off of this gank.
Yeah, they got some pretty good names, but that is ooh. I'm gonna go taking a little bit of damage.
Yep, it's gonna be difficult for Raymond the GOAT to really do anything until level 6, just because his champion's quite weak at dueling until then. You can kind of poke out the Aatrox, but Aatrox has a ton of range, as you can see here, getting 2 of those Qs off. Got a ton of range, just generally does a lot. Ooh, that was tough. Just generally doing a lot more damage than Raymond the GOAT will be able to do. So Voltaire, the philosopher Voltaire here today. That's fantastic.
Voltaire? Oh,
okay. Flash engage here by the Nautilus. Flashing away is Arthropod. May get out here. Proliferate taking absolutely 0 damage. My goodness, what is Leona? As now we have Sejuani might have a chance for a counter gank here. A lot of good trading going on by pretty much every lane. Aatrox taking a single tower shot, not the end of the world though. Main thing to look at, no summoners on Arthropod. This Kai'Sa is extremely vulnerable if they do choose to come down to bot lane again.
Yeah, this is a lot more action-packed start than I would have thought. And here comes oh, nope, trying to run away. Oh, nope, coming back. Doing a little
Azir does have first move. They do have the push in the mid lane, so it means that Azir will be able to move over to this play. That is why Sejuani walked away. Usually, if Syndra was pushed up a little bit farther, if she was past that center point of the mid lane, then Syndra would be able to come down and actually impact that fight. But unfortunately, Azir was able to just walk down first, and Syndra had to disengage. Or, sorry, Sejuani had to disengage.
Yeah, just getting a little, playing a little bit of mind games. On the Rift.
Indeed. lot of good training from Blitzkrieg in particular, though. You see, every time we look here, he's pretty much hitting that stun, getting that poke off onto Fire Song, which is exactly what you need to do. Just keep poking this Azir down until you get level 6, and you can potentially look for an all-in with that ultimate.
For sure, it's all about hitting those skill shots with that champion. And like I think we discussed a little bit last week about the Syndra buffs as well.
Yep, yeah, definitely a much stronger champion now, but a little bit worse in lane. So usually you'd pick Syndra into Azir to really punish the Azir to try and pick up some solo kills. You can still do that, but I think the main thing now is just going to be keeping up with scaling.
For sure.
And if I found himself with a level advantage, this could be something we could be looking at going forward just because of how impactful the level 6 on that Shyvana really is. He could be looking for this kill later on as now we see the coming to top lane. Raven the Goat has to be really careful knowing he has no vision, but it looks like it's a little bit too late. W coming out from the Trundle. Flashing forward is Aatrox. They're definitely going to pick up this kill, just a matter of who's going to be getting it. First blood going over to Trundle. Not the best, but not the worst either. Obviously getting this Trundle ahead, getting him that Sunderer spike faster could be very problematic.
Oh, but it looks like Sejuani found, or the Trundle just ran into Sejuani, but gonna back off a little bit. Yeah, I was a little bit surprised that Raymond the Goat was playing a little bit more aggressively.
So there's a reason for that. He really wanted to get this wave under turret because now Voltaire, the Aatrox, can just kind of freeze this wave, and he's going to lose out on a lot of gold and experience. So these 3 minions will actually continue to hit, as you can see, the melee minion of Voltaire, and he'll just be able to keep this wave pushed up really close to his tower and really threaten another gank from the Trundle. So now we're going to go to
mind games. Bunch of mind games again.
Absolutely, absolutely. So just like keeping the wave in a good spot to where Raymond the Goat needs to be really careful and needs to be aware that, well, now Trundle could just be coming topside again. As you can see from the pings, it looks like that's what he's going to try to do.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Raymond the Goat knows what's up.
Good stun there.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it looks like Trundle's going to be resetting on the top side, just knowing, as you can see, the wave is just really tough to gank Raymond the Goat here. He's probably going to be looking towards the spot lane and towards the dragon now.
And it looks like the Firebirds will be a little bit more set up, and Leona might be me. Oh, never mind.
One thing to look at here is the Kai'Sa versus Samira matchup, as we talked about before. Kai'Sa's actually up 14 farm, which is a significant amount for 6-7 minutes. Also, mid lane up about 11 farm, so our lanes are playing very well this far.
For sure, and both, looks like the gold is pretty even between both teams.
Yep, despite that kill, still very even, so we'll see what happens here. Just pushed away, very well played there by Blitzkrieg, flashing out of that pillar, making sure 100% that no kill will be found. Well played.
Yeah, most definitely. I was a little bit afraid that Zero was going to use their R real quick, but the Emperor did not choose to do so.
Yep, I mean, he was going to, but he got pushed away by the Syndra there, by Blitzkrieg, so he wasn't actually able to pull off that play, just because his dash got canceled. So if not, he would have been able to dash forward, probably flash, click R, and then I think Blitzkrieg might have died, but thankfully for us, he's pretty good. Yeah.
It looks like NECC is going to be working on the dragon real quick.
Yep, first dragon, pretty unsurprising. I think that Chalice has been playing really well. I think that Zaphius Darkwood has really been playing the map well, playing to his lanes that he needs to get ahead, and playing towards his objectives well. As you see, push has been given to bot lane, and that's the first dragon.
Yeah, so far this Trundle's making a pretty good impact.
Well played there by Voltaire. Just knowing that something was amiss when you see Raymond the Goat running at you, clicking R. Now just people look at that wave push in, they will likely go for the Rift Herald.
So, her ult's a little bit interesting is, gotta
be careful here. Ooh, okay. Flashing away is Arthropod. Right off a cooldown, it looked like, but the main thing to look at, Arthropod level 5, whereas Winnie is level 6, so that ultimate is available. Will definitely win that fight if they actually decided to opt into it.
Like
now
the Deer and the Trundle's there.
Ultimate will not come out. He's actually, really well played there by the bot lane. The Firebirds proliferate, picking up a kill in the Fire Song, and now Winnie's in a really bad position. Flashing forward is proliferate to pick up the double kill. Very well played, and way to outplay that dive.
Yeah, most definitely. Just stunning that Azir right under tower, just getting letting that tower do most of the work. Very well done, and that Leona's gonna get a little bit buffy now.
Oh yeah, no, Leona's going to get very tanky coming up. Obviously, you do kind of wish that, my goodness, you do wish that Arthropod was able to pick up one of those kills, but having these kills,
makes Leona awesome.
she is pretty cool at this point. But giving, oh wow, a lot of fighting here.
Dear.
I'm gonna go probably just gonna walk away, try and build up that Fury, look for another ultimate. As I was saying, Proliferate having this gold in the early game is not a bad thing. The faster that your support can hit their first item spike, the better. It's very impactful, especially when a tank support, and chance anything really. When they hit that first item spike, it becomes very tough for the opponent to play, just because you do have that little extra bonus. But it usually is better for your support to hit that first item rather than, oh, well, now my ADC has the first mythic.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit more impactful. Give me clicking R, trying to push the wave away from himself. I'm assuming he believes that Aatrox has reset here, which obviously is not. So now, well, there's going to pick up that wave and then take a reset of zone. Very good patience there shown by the Aatrox.
Yeah, most definitely. I was just about to point out earlier, Shyvana's ultimate is a little bit interesting, and I think you touched on a little bit, whereas Fury stacks that builds it up instead of just it being a cooldown, correct?
Yep, correct. So the little red bar under Raymond the Goat's character is called Fury. When you hit 100%, when that bar is full, you're going to be able to turn into that dragon, and you'll get all those saucy extra effects there.
Yeah, that was interesting using it for the wave. How fast does it normally take for those Fury stacks to build up to the ultimate?
Not very long. So how it works is every time that you auto attack, it will increase the Fury by 1, I believe, 1 or 2. But it also has a passive regeneration. So by hitting minions, you'll be gaining Fury faster. Another way to do it, at least in the jungle, Gromp actually gives you, I believe, 40 Fury. Oh. Killing Gromp gives you some Fury. Because I guess Shyvana just hates the frog for some reason.
Of course, frogs hate dragons.
Oh yeah, it's well known, obviously. How could I have not known that? But in top lane, you're going to get that a little bit slower than you would in jungle, just because of that fact. But it's still quite quick. It's a lot faster than you get a usual cooldown.
For sure. Ooh,
really good to avoid that there. I think he's been playing this very well, though. I mean, despite the fact he is down, what is that, 14 CS? Ooh, going for... Ooh, flashing away. Well played there. Oh, now going on to Fireside. Almost has that kill there. A ton of damage onto the mid laner. They might actually get this, but no. Fireside actually turning that around, picking up Allspice. Allspice just going in a little bit too far. Maybe... Probably a little bit greedy there, knowing that it was a 2v3. A lot of extra CC there from the Nautilus, but now Raymond the Goat wants blood. World Ender popped by Voltaire. A lot of healing by both sides here, but it looks like Raymond the Goat's going to have just enough damage.
There we go.
Forward, picking up the solo kill.
That's what Raymond the Goat needed right there. Oh, but it looks like Trundle's right behind him.
Yeah, you got to be really careful here. He does have a way out through that blast cone, so it looks like he's going to get away. That movement speed will pay off. But man, very well played to get that solo kill. As you can see, at level 6, that Shyvana is incredibly strong.
That was extremely well played, both mentally and just using game mechanics. That was really well done.
Yep, very good macro play here as well. Getting about a kill's worth of gold for those 3 members of the Firebirds there. I mean, picking up that mid tower especially gives you a lot of map control. Suddenly, you don't have that safe haven to just walk back to. And those 2 jungle camps, the Wolves and the Raptors in particular, become a lot more susceptible to being stolen.
Yeah, most definitely. And with that, we're going to have a little bit of a gold lead, and that's going to be great as we heading into the kind of the middle of the game.
I mean, that's exactly what we were looking for. Just that nice little swing in gold. Who died? Who did Kai'Sa kill? I'm assuming it was during that solo kill, but at some point this Kai'Sa got a kill, and that's excellent. You got that Kraken Slayer power spike, my goodness. And suddenly, you have a very strong Kai'Sa for this next team fight. I think they might actually not want to go for this next one, honestly. This dragon, they probably should give up.
Yeah, that's... and looks like Shelly's going to be making her appearance in bot lane.
Okay, ready to go. Okay, happy feet. Dodging everything there. He does have the ults. But I've really liked the team play here from the Firebirds. I mean, they've been moving as a unit. They have had a clear objective. They look they look like a team, which is a little bit different than the last game. Flashing forward, does in fact pick up Blitzkrieg. Will they be able to find the kill? No, Blitzkrieg has enough damage to take out Winnie. But then when he trades right back, now as you can see, Firesong might be able to get away here. The ultimate is not available from the Kaisa just yet. So Azir escaping by the skin of his teeth.
That's the second time that Azir has been that slippery, getting out of almost a near death. Very nicely done.
Absolutely, and this is what Azir is so good. It's such a safe champion in the mid lane. The dash goes so far, as you can see there. He dashed over the wall and then some. So he's able to put a lot of distance between whoever's trying to get at him.
For sure, it's a really good Emperor tactic.
It is, running away. Who would have thought?
All right, but and looks like we're gonna get the second drag. That's gonna be helpful.
It absolutely will, and especially with this bot tower being so low, they've gotten so much turret plating. A ton of extra gold here. I mean, I've spoken out a little bit, but the macro from the Firebirds so far has been very good.
Yeah, most definitely. It seems a lot more. What's the word?
Coordinated.
Coordinated. Yeah, I was gonna do that, or precise. But
precise works.
You always do the good words, but compared to last week, like what you said, they had an objective that they need to go to. They know what they need to do, and just trying to get making the best out of everything.
Exactly. Yep.
Time with money.
It is. It absolutely is. Yeah, you little marketing person, you. Another good thing to look at that they've done spectacularly all season is the warding. So just warding around these objectives, making sure that they're safe. So despite some hiccups as far as dying these ganks, specifically from Raven the Goat, they are able to get that gold back in a lot of different ways. And now, 3.1 thousand, they're going to be going for a gank ult. Ooh, using that dash forward absolutely seals this fate. Stun coming through from Proliferate. Proliferate is fed, baby. 3-0. Leona is carrying.
Oh, you love seeing a tanky Solari.
Oh my gosh.
The aspect of is it fire? Oh, the sun. Very nicely done.
Yes, so this Leona's going to be very tanky, picking up that locket of the Iron Solari. So actually picking up her own locket there. Sometimes you'll see Evan Shroud. I think Locket's a better choice here, though. Usually you pick Evan Shroud in situations where you have a dive team comp. Like everybody's trying to jump on the ADC, everybody's trying to go in. So what Evan Shroud does is every person who you CC, that gives you your team a slight damage amp against those people who are CC.
Yeah.
So, ultimate coming through onto him to go. I'm assuming Subjugate was used. It was not yet. He's actually holding down. He's doing for the Sejuani. A lot of damage coming through, but now Arthropod is in. This is a very tricky spot. Off by picking up Darkwood. And now they're chasing more. Voltaire's gonna get the knock up. He's dashing over the wall. Rain the Gold ulting over to follow, though. The hook misses. They're in trouble with the 4v3. Blitzkrieg is coming in. But my goodness, that is so low. And there's ultimate getting not enough. He's gonna have, oh my gosh, Arthropod has so much damage trying to fight all the way around. What was that Syndra damage? And now they're gonna go for Voltaire. Oh, not much coming of it. They're going to trade right back. Allspice getting lost, but wow, a really good team fight there from the Firebirds.
That was really nice. It's just being in the right place at the right time and just executing it. It's really nicely done.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they just had, once again, they had a clear identity. They had an idea of what they want to do. They overloaded the top side. They had a numbers advantage, and they were going to push that. Even if they lost a few members, the gold advantage is, I mean, it shows in itself.
It was worth it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Going back to what I was talking about. Oh, never mind. Arthropod now caught out. Does get hooked by the chains. He's trying to run away. He does get out. Proliferate has no mana, though. Flashing forward and using that chilling smite. Although the exhaustness push away are going to save Arthropod. Very, very well played there. But Raven the Goat's got to get away. He is going to try to 3v1 here his best. But I think he's going to go down. Eventually. There it is. Voltaire picking up his second now. Anyway, okay, they're still fighting. We've got more Pokemon fighting. 5v2 here. Firesong wants it. Doka jumps forward. Still nothing coming of it, though. Finally, we can talk about a dive comp. My goodness. As I was talking about before, the item, Evan Shroud, that Leona is better in a dive position. A dive comp is a team that has a lot of these big team fight ultimates that want to essentially just jump on the other team. They all want to create panic, create confusion, and really want to displace the members in order to pick them off. So what Indiana Tech has is much closer to a dive comp. They have the Samira, the Nautilus, and the Azir, who all kind of want to jump into the other team and get a single pick. Usually it's the ADC or the mid laner, one of the two carry roles. That will seal the team fight. So it's about burst and it's about CC, targeted CC, which, I mean, Indiana Tech both does very well.
Yeah, and kind of like what we have sometimes with LeBlanc and some champs like that.
Absolutely.
Just
a
jumping
lot
right on
closer.
it.
I mean, it sounds like a very strong game plan, and most of the time it is. It's difficult to play against, but when you have a team comp like the Firebirds, it can get a little bit tricky because if that initial jump forward, if that initial dive fails, then all of a sudden you have all of these members out of position.
Yeah.
It becomes very tough. At that point, you kind of have to run away or continue, like double down. You kind of need to double down at that point, but you're at such a disadvantage. You need that initial CC chain to work.
For sure, but with all this flexibility and tankiness from the Firebirds, it's extremely tough to just jump onto them.
And they don't really have enough damage initially in order to do that. As you can see, Azir picking up the Leandri's Anguish, an item usually used as an anti-tank item. It does that percent max health burn. But one thing I would have liked to see is Samira going Lord Dominic's regards second instead of what she's going the Collector. It gives you a lot more armor penetration and actually gives you bonus damage against these higher health targets. So the Collector isn't going to give you as much value here, but now a team fight breakout. Oh my goodness, damage is incredible. It's on top of 2, but that was a great for his Divine. Arthur is caught out, but he's all right back. Taking out the Zero, wants immediately proliferate, fails flash from low, but doesn't matter. Oh my goodness, how does the double kill? Arthropod is actually pumping out damage. Sergeus Darkwood absolutely going down now. Ace, triple kill for Arthropod and double kill for proliferate. This bot lane is dominating.
That was a great team fight, and I think that the biggest thing, they're trying to separate the Firebirds out, but then the Firebirds just came right back in and turned the tides against them.
Exactly what we just talked about. That initial dive failed. The Azir went in, but forgot about the Predatory Instincts, or the Killer Instincts, I don't remember exactly. The Kaisa ultimate, she was able to just jump right back out of that. So it completely, I hate to say completely failed, but it was not optimal, let's say.
It wasn't executed as intended.
Exactly, and that's what happens when a dive comp doesn't get the burst that it needs. You get aced.
Yeah, and that's gonna be Samira and Azir behind now. So, and look at that Kaisa going to 6-0-3, and Leon on 5-0-5. Absolutely wicked.
Oh, one thing I didn't realize earlier, this is actually going to be an AD Shyvana top lane. So going with that Frostborn Gauntlet to get that tankiness initially, but now I'm going to assume you're going to Blade of the Ruined King. So she's going to be a lot less of a frontline tank, and now be a lot more of a damage threat going forward into this game.
Okay. Quick question, is Shyvana, her abilities, is it more AP than, or is it, or?
So the interesting thing about Shyvana is she can actually build either. She has scalings in her kit that work really well for both options. Her E is much more of a burst build. It does a lot more range damage, whereas obviously the AD build is going to be a lot different. You see, once again, the slipperiness of this team comp. I mean, Nautilus evading that CC with that very well-timed hook into the wall, and Firesong just jumping right over that wall again. I mean, well played, but now they got to be careful. Lying in wait are the Firebirds. They know they want this Baron. Blitzkrieg poking them down, just reminding them, hey, we are actually up 7,500 gold. You still have to be careful.
Oh, and it looks like Raymond the Goat found a friend at bot side.
Auspice is still here. I really like how they're just following so close behind, just ready to follow up at any moment that Proliferate could want to go in. All right, Blitzkrieg, my goodness, that Auspice could want to go in. But nothing coming of it, and I think that's definitely the smarter play here for Indiana Tech. I mean, they could not have won that fight. The Firebirds are just simply up too much gold, and they're at a numbers disadvantage. So just need to continue to play safe, continue to back off, make sure that they don't lose any more of these big fights, because at this point, any team fight that you opt into, if you're Indiana Tech, is just, oh my goodness, you see that recurve bow, and that healing is going all the way in. The teleport's coming through, though. Voltaire healing so much, away. He is slowed, and then you get that Fire Song. I think that's the right choice.
Yeah.
This Azir needs some more gold if he's going to carry.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a bummer that Raymond the Goat couldn't seal the deal, but that's all right.
Because now you see they invested this teleport on the bottom side, and now they're just going to be able to take this Baron for essentially free. They're not going to have enough teleports, and they're just going to go straight at Voltaire. Voltaire is absolutely crowd position. He does get that root onto him, and now proliferates in the middle of 3. The solar flame does come down. Oh my goodness, Winning TV has a fantastic cleanse, and now he's onto the back line. Arthur is able to burst him down. Auspice is running away, but he's not going to be able to get away. Blitzkrieg does have that fantastic push away, so this will just be kind of an even fight here. But now flashing forward, Blitzkrieg very well played there. Arthur pod with damage. He's gonna start running for his life. Voltaire does get that. flashing by, trying to get out through the Hextech gate. He's got 2 following him. Will he get away? I think not. 1,000 gold shutdown to the Aatrox. Not ideal, but not the worst.
I was just trying to play a little game of hide and go seek with them.
Yes.
You know, always having a little bit of a fun time. But a little bit of a bummer that team fight did not go the way that it was intended. But at least that they're hopefully not going for Baron right now. And it's still up for grabs.
Yep, I think that Raymond the Goat getting killed in that bot lane, because then it was a 4v5, because they did in fact have that teleport and able to get back. And they were given enough time, Indiana Tech was given enough time to run back to this Baron and actually contest it. So although it seemed like the Firebirds could have won that initially, all 5 members weren't there. So once it became that 4v5, immediately that fight was just lost. Because when he had that great cleanse on the Solar Flare on the Leona ultimate, was able to get onto the back line, was able to essentially take out Arthropod. Despite getting killed, he was able to take down Arthropod enough to where he had to play that fight safe enough to where he wasn't really able to output enough damage.
Yeah, for sure. And it's going to bring their gold deficit up by just by a little bit more, and all the bounties pretty much have been claimed. Only one left is on Kai'Sa.
Yep. But Kai'Sa does have that all-important Infinity Edge. This is, once again, I said it last time, but this is not usually a fight that you want to opt into. The ultimate, you do have a few really big ultimates actually expended from the Firebirds there. You have that, the Syndra ultimate and the, Sejuani ultimate. He might be too caught out. The burst is incredible. Ulting in is Raymond the Goat, now trying to find him. Arthropod ulting in, gets the Killer Instinct, and ends up picking it up, but this fight is so disjointed. Fire Song has one. The Samira was able to ult, but is stunned away. Proliferate flashing into 3. So aggressive. Blitzkrieg trying to fall off his best. Arthropod is walking back. He does have the Infinity Edge. He is so strong. Trying to bait them back in this bush. Proliferate does have the stun. He does have the damage. Will he be like, no, they were too disjointed. He's trying his best to carry, though. He could actually find this one out. Teleport is coming through. Raymond the Goat wants to get back in. Another kill gonna be found. Arthropod will be taken down. But now, Raymond the Goat is on the hunt. He will almost certainly pick this up. So he's getting kited really badly. Will he the back the damage with TV has a ton and all coming out. But Raymond the Goat secures the kill and the ace and should just be able to pick up that dragon because he's Shyvana. Oh, he wants mid. Okay, he wants mid. That's fine. The jungler is up, so probably the safer play. But man, what a team fight.
Yeah, that I thought that was gonna go a little bit more in the Firebirds direction. Just you know, they had that separation, but that time around, Indiana Tech, they just came back and joined it up together. It was almost a complete flip flop from the last the 2 team fights.
Last 2 team fights.
There we go.
Now we're trying again though. We got a rematch here with the dragon. Man, it is really tough that Indiana Tech wasn't able to get the initial advantage of positioning. But once again, this is a dive competition. You kind of want to be able to go in. So they are just gonna be able to burst it down. So that's 3rd dragon now on soul point. Really good, might I add, for this Kai'Sa who wants to just be continuously auto attacking and putting out that damage.
Oh yeah.
So Hextech Dragon is certainly a good one for this team.
Most definitely. What are the stats? Because it's the lightning chain, correct? And
yes.
What other buffs does that soul give you?
So for the small, that's the only buff. Is it gives true damage and a slow. Ooh, really good play. Raymond the Goat might have found it. The team fight winner, immediately taking out the jungler. That's exactly what. I mean, the Baron is up. They could just go for it. Doesn't get a good enough hook. He's gonna try to go over the wall. The blast cone is hit. That's 2 for the Firebirds, and that'll be a Baron.
The amount of CC that the Firebirds have is amazing. One after the other. There's nothing that Nautilus could have done. Just trying to get over that wall, just praying that CC would end.
Right as Raymond the Goat found that flank, that team fight was over. 4v5. They just did not have the members to fight back.
Yeah, extremely well done, and that's going to bring the gold lead up to about, doing some quick math,
5,000.
Yes.
6,000, yep. No problem. That's what I'm here for. The non-math person here, might I add.
I'm here for the I'm the imagination side.
You're the ideas guy.
The
okay, that's fair. All right. How, based on game state, how do you think Indiana Tech comes back into this game? Because it's going to start becoming very difficult the more fed that this Kai'Sa gets.
It's going to be really tough, but just keeping that Samira alive and getting a really good placement on her and having a good front line, I think that would help out the most. And just having the initial aggression and hopefully it's sticking.
Running forward. They
Hopefully-
think they have this win, but do they? Zagreus taking so much damage, and I don't know who he ults here, really. Really good flank, though, by this Aatrox. They could find a fight, honestly. They have the members. They have the position to find it, but it looks like Aatrox... Oh, no. They might... this is just a will they, won't they at this point. The stun misses. The ult is popped. World Ender. The World Ender is here. I apologize. Ult comes through. Proliferate's out of position. Allspice is in the middle of everybody, but he's got the damage to follow up. The Samir ult comes through. Arthropod has a ton of damage as well. Blitzkrieg's getting taken down slowly but surely, but Rain the Goat's here to save the day. Shyvana has got the damage, and that will be another ace for the Firebirds.
Blitzkrieg just hanging out with like 2 health left.
Yep.
Very
Barely
nicely
surviving. But man, what a team fight. That initial pick, I thought it was over, honestly. After the initial pick on Proliferate, he was able to get that ultimate down just fast enough in order to turn that team fight. That is a tongue twister. Turn that team fight.
Turn
Team fight. Yeah, but they're going to pick up. All right, Blitzkrieg dies to the turret there. He wanted the fastback, I guess. He didn't want Baron buff. He thought he's too good for Baron buff. He thought it was too big of an advantage. He wanted to give them a little bit more of a chance there. That's all right. They got the bot inhibitor, so that's the main thing. They still got some Baron buffs, and the Kaisa now has that Guardian Angel.
Oh,
so
wow.
that is very important, actually, into this dive comp. They need to kill the Kaisa, but they're getting to do it twice.
Yeah. That's going to be extremely deadly. And the way that the team fight went last time, I mean, they did exactly what we thought they were going to do, and going for that back line, squishing them in. And we find a way around that, and it's going to be a lot tougher this time around.
Yep, you don't have that clear target to just assassinating kind of team fight. Guardian Angel being able to bring its user back to life at 50% health and mana. That second chance is massive when you are the main target of the enemy team.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just like you use all those resources trying to take them out, and they just come back. It's just
very, just real quick, very interesting build here going after Raymond the Goat. He's got a very, let's almost maybe say, weird, unnatural build. But okay, well, we got a lot of fighting here going on. Raymond the Goat has the damage, he has the Bork, but he's gonna walk away. The teleport coming through from Firesong is gonna turn this one. World Ender's popped. He's got the first knock-up. He's got the second. He's got the follow-up. Shut down. Azir is taken out, but now this dragon spawning in 24 seconds, and they have no jungler.
Was it all just a big distraction up there then?
Maybe. I mean, that was certainly a lot of threat being put on this top tower. But ideally, you don't want to die. It's just the teleport coming out from Firesong. Getting that summoner spell is very big for securing this Dragon Soul.
And I think Raymond the Ghost Silent is like, oh no, I'm going to try and crawl out of there.
He did try to crawl out, but you need... The issue is, sure, you get that shutdown goal with the Shyvana, but now you give up the Dragon Soul.
Yeah.
This will be massive. A front-to-back comp that, like the Firebirds, having that extra slow to really control the pace of the team fight is huge, especially when you have a hyper carry like Kaisa.
And I think that's been the tactic for the Firebirds all along. I mean, like
he wants the burst and he almost has it. That ultimate is executed. He's going down, trying to outplay the Aatrox. What from nowhere? What in the world? Max range Kaisa ult coming from Narnia, coming to save Blitzkrieg. Well played.
I don't think I have any words to explain. I'll give this one to you. But I know using that hard to get in there.
Jumped in there. That's what happened. He come flying in. I
thought that was a Jinx rocket.
No,
I was like, wait, we don't have Jinx.
Oh, wow. Now pushing at top tower, getting arthropod. He did. He came in like an arthropod. Well said from our tech crew. Now securing all the inhibitors. They're looking to push for a victory. The Baron is respawning in 26 seconds. They have the damage. They have the carry threat. The Trundle is going to be bursted. Our Allspice does hit the ult, but it's more just to get away. They're going to look to reset and regroup at the Baron.
Oh, wow, look at that damage from Arthropod.
One person we haven't talked about a ton is Blitzkrieg, but he has had a ton of fantastic pushes to save this Kaisa. And I mean, we saw Firesong getting essentially as good of an engage as he could possibly get, but still instantly dying to Syndra. That is some crazy damage.
And just all the skill shots just lining up time and time again. You know, I never need to doubt Blitzkrieg ever when it comes to the champions that they use.
No, absolutely. Never count him out. I mean, didn't have the most stellar start, but I mean, it's a control mage. You're gonna scale. Being boring is kind of your job. Firesong already having your ult. You do have a lot of poke onto Osspice, but also, I mean, Azir is chunked and Trundle is in danger, but again, they do actually have the members to back him up. Raymond the Goat puts a lot of damage on a flash hook, does land. The ultimate does come through. Raymond the Goat able to pick up one, but no, when he grabs it, halting now, he will get proliferate. They need to get something. Arthropod is on the backside trying to get the kill. It's going into all four. He got one. He's coming back to life, but this is not the position you want to be in as Kaisa. Blitzkrieg is now trying to he's trying to do the Blitzkrieg special. Instantly popping Aatrox. This is chaotic. Will they just win? It is a 1v2. He has the damage. They have Guardian Angel though. He's pushing them away. Osspice is coming through the bot side. Oh no, they're on top of Blitzkrieg. He does have the stopwatch. Heals a ton of back, and there is the Guardian Angel popped. This will be the game. Too much damage here onto flash it. Okay, flash forward. They did not expect that one. Osspice running in 20. Okay, that'll be the game.
That's the game.
Well played. Wow.
I think it's always Blitzkrieg that does that. It's just there's a little team fight going over and the other side of the map.
Actually.
And then he's just like, oh, wait, I'm just gonna walk in and take the Nexus.
Oh,
very well done.
You got the Baron. Well, we'll trade that for the Nexus. You know, like that's probably
a good offer. It's a villager offer from
trade offer. You get the Baron. We win the game.
Deal.
Right? Deal. That's what happened there. I mean, it was as simple as that. And now I understand why Arthropod ulted into 4 people. He was trying to buy time for Blitzkrieg there.
And that Guardian Angel just spending even more time away.
Really
that was really,
I mean, a great play. And some highlights. Macro. My goodness. The Firebirds absolutely playing that mid game to perfection.
For sure.
The early game, a little bit rough, giving up that first blood. But it did not matter. They played those mid-game team fights. They had those perfect rotations, getting so many free towers.
I mean, a big example of that, I mean, look at Raymond the Goat, is that just not always pushing with the team, but being close nearby, just getting things done, and then coming back. The only time it was a little bit of a bummer was when Azir just decided to come in and just like, oh no, let's get out of there. But I mean, what a great game! And look at that Blitzkrieg as Syndra getting 49,000 damage.
My goodness! All right,
absolutely insane.
We'll take a little bit of a break now. Very well played first game. Excited to see the second one. But we gotta let both teams regroup, game plan a little bit, so we'll be back with you after this short little break.
Suck the life right out of my veins when you spoke my name. Got the kind of thing going that tips the scales. Yeah, you keep me sane. I'll be the clouds beyond your skies. We'll flutter by like butterflies. I'll be the blue inside your eyes. Your crazy loving keeps me paralyzed. Oh, this is what it feels like. Oh, this is what it feels like. Oh, this is what it feels like to see reflections of you all around. Oh, this is what it sounds like. Oh, this is what it sounds like. Oh, this is what it sounds like to see reflections of you all around.
Coming back from the Hype Bangers playlist, we've got some Carthage League of Legends, baby.
I thought we were
Let's
doing
go.
Carthage College DJ edition. I thought we were
Well,
doing DJ battle, Beat Saber, none of that.
no, not today. That's when's that stream coming? Later. It'll happen, I guess. That's
I would like to see Beat Saber. That'd be cool.
Beat Saber would be fun. I feel like it'd be more like a Okay, like a single person stream rather than like competitive charity stream idea. Oh, okay. I see what you're doing there. Same bands, pretty much what we're gonna expect here. Looks like Indiana Tech wants that little run back. They want their salty run back. Figure of speech. I'm not saying that the other team is upset in any way. It's a figure of speech. Cinder can be banned here. We saw Blitzkrieg perform on that pick. My goodness, that damage was absurd.
Wait, I can't say that's on that copyright.
That's true. It would have been you and I believe you would have sung it so well that
I have it in my mind.
Immediately, the algorithm that picked up. It's like, hold on a second. Same bands though. IT. Kind of curious to see what they picked. The Aatrox didn't go crazily well, but it wasn't really its fault. The Aatrox did do its job. It did a lot of damage. It healed. It just. Oh, by the way, red blank thing is a Caitlyn ban. There it is. Aatrox, same thing. I actually I expect the same response. I don't see any reason to switch that up at the moment. Like,
it was solid playstyle.
Oh, they didn't ban the Fiora though. Ooh. So now if we're getting the Fiora into the Aatrox, I love to see it.
Yeah, and I'm always watching Raymond go doing those the points.
Right, the vital points.
The vital points. Always trying to get all of them that and
off the grand challenge.
It's like 0.4 seconds. I'm like, how do you do that? And he's like,
Q, auto E, auto flash, auto Q. That's the combo.
That's too much.
It is a lot. Oh, okay. So a lot of it different, kind of surprising. After you have such a decisive victory, usually you want to go with a similar comp. Okay, all right. You can expect to see a Fiora haiku.
We didn't do one yet today.
That'll be me. You did the last week's. I got this one. Oh, okay. I like that. A little bit of different look though. So usually when you beat a team in that fashion, you want to see a similar look.
Yeah.
But they're going to be switching it up. They want a little bit different. I mean, we haven't seen Arthropod on the Ezreal this season because it's been banned all the time. So we're going to pick up the Fiora and the Ezreal. Fiora obviously does win the Aatrox matchup, but it is extremely hard. I mean, you need to really be on point with those W's with that riposte. You need to really have the mechanics to win this matchup, because if you do not have a clean trade, you can very easily lose to the Aatrox.
Yeah, it's a very hard and very skilled champion, and it's spent a lot of time on just trying to perfect those things. It's something I can't do, but I love watching it when it happens, and it's so interesting the vitals on it. But the Seraphine and Graves. So what type of comp are they trying to create with this?
No idea yet. That's the beauty of League of Legends. One thing to look at is they didn't pick up the Trundle, so they're just going to grab the Sejuani on R3. I think that's a really smart play. The Trundle, the Graves can have issues breaking down these bulkier opponents until he gets those to the Eclipse Power Spike in particular. So it's Seraphine, then Graves? Okay. So we have Aatrox, Seraphine, and something else. So Graves wasn't picked, I am assuming. We'll figure that out in a second. Aatrox, Seraphine, Udyr.
Okay. With the little rework on it.
It is. So that's going to be Udyr jungle. Still, I think it's going to be pretty similar. Udyr does farm really fast. Is considerably better into Sejuani. He does have that percent max health physical damage on his Q now.
And he has a funny little run too.
He's really silly run. It's pretty silly.
So with the rework, what main things is addressed into it? Because I looked a little bit at it, and now it seems like with abilities you can go past 5 levels up to it. So how
you've always been able to do that.
Oh, really?
The main difference is the main difference is slightly more power to his kit in different ways, because pre-rework Udyr was really, really good. It was really strong. It just it was too simple. Like, it was a very outdated champion.
Yeah.
So this way they've kind of brought him to be more modern. I think his ult is a little bit worse for what it used to be. His ult just used to do so much more damage, and the clearing on it was a lot better. LeBlanc ban, by the way, is that blue thing covered up there. But Udyr is going to be a little bit better at team fighting now than he used to be. That's going to be the main thing that you're looking at. And he's a little bit more build variety.
Oh,
back to the bans,
Senna.
though. Victor Azir going to be banned here. Oh, interesting. We'll get back to that in a second. Victor Azir going to be banned here for Carthage, both just very solid and safe mid laners. On the other side, we've got the Yuumi ban. So Indiana Tech does not want to play against Yuumi. They don't want to play against LeBlanc. I think that's fair. Silas is going to be hovered here. That's going to be locking in the Seraphine as their support, or still could be the AD carry. We got to wait. But it's most likely support. And I think that the Senna pick was actually to deny this Senna-Seraphine combo. Okay, Seraphine ADC.
Oh.
So we're going to see a lot of magic damage here for IT, for Indiana Tech here. That's one thing to look at. But a lot of CC, a lot of follow-up. I mean, Seraphine ADC is incredibly strong, especially into Ezreal Senna. There's these types of poke lanes it's very good into. You can match the range very well with her Q, and the healing allows her to kind of play through a lot of this poke.
Whoa.
Talia into Silas, very common counter pick. So Talia's rocks, the worked ground, allow her to get a lot of good poke off onto the Silas, who is melee, and can kind of have issues getting on top of the Talia to actually get his damage down, just because he's so short range.
And even getting on top of it, Talia has a bunch of abilities just to move,
Push you away.
push you away,
Yep.
get you in a really nasty position. So hopefully that'll be a really fun mid lane.
Yeah, it's what you're looking for from Carthage. You want a mid laner who's able to support your side lanes. To support the Fiora in particular, I think you need a mid laner who's able to roam, because this Fiora is going to be really trying to hit these towers and get these tower plates to get a gold advantage, because you can get these solo kills onto the Aatrox, but it's a lot safer to do so through getting towers down, obviously.
For sure.
So just a lot more of a consistent game plan, but also, as we talked about before, the actual lane matchup is very good. She has an ability, her E, which if you dash over it, it'll actually stun you. And one of Silas's main ways that he could try to get some damage onto the Talia is through dashing. So he's got to be really careful around this, and he gets out roamed. It can be tough. The one benefit is he does get the Talia ultimate, so he can roam with her if the opportunity presents itself.
That's gonna be cool.
The double
It's
walls,
gonna be cool with double walls. Yeah. That.
So usually you'll see Silas into like Twisted Fate, where he has Destiny, his ultimate, where he's able to teleport on a specific point of the map. But it's not as easy to follow, because usually the Talia will have a better timing to roam, so you'll be able to get advantages through CS, because if you do try to follow as the Silas, then you're going to be losing out on the farm, all of this golden experience. So it's a lot more difficult to do. It's not just a point and click ability to where you could say, okay, I'm here on the map now.
Yeah.
It takes that wind up, it takes the time, and you have to really commit to the play more than a Twisted Fate would.
For sure. Yeah. This is gonna be really exciting. So who do you think won this time around?
That's tough. There's a lot of very different styles here. You have a lot of poke from Carthage. You have the Ezreal, you have the Talia, you have the Senna even. Has a very, very high range. But on the other side, the team fight of Indiana Tech is so good. Seraphine ulti plus a Mumu ulti is quite disgusting. So they just have to be careful. But man, who would I give the advantage to? Silas doesn't have a lot of very good ults to take. He's got Sejuani ult, that's the main one. But past that, he doesn't have anything that's like, oh, this is good, right?
Yeah.
Not like if there's a Mumi on their team. Then Silas would just go, oh, okay, a Mumu ult, we go in, we get this stuns. But there's no obvious play. The issue is they have Seraphine and Mumu, which is already just a very gross combo. So their team fights can be slightly better. Ooh. I think I'll still go up to Carthage. I really don't like the Senna Ezreal combo as far as a bot lane duo, but I just think that their comp as a whole can kind of supplement for it. I don't know who matches Fiora in the side lane. I don't think that anybody can really move down and win that 1v1 on Indiana Tech's team. I mean, Aatrox is good and all. He's got that healing. He's crazy strong. But Fiora being able to riposte those stuns and, get the CC of her own in order to really pick up these all-ins it's a very scary possibility. So slight edge to the Firebirds. But with that in mind, it's a lot easier to play Indiana Tech's team comp.
Yeah, for sure.
If you make one execution error on this Fiora, like that could legitimately be the fight. Like if you misposition, if you mess up your vital, it is rough. So,
but they have great potential to do amazing things with it. It's just a very difficult thing to do, but it's going to look really cool if they do it.
It absolutely will. it absolutely will. And the one benefit here, despite having this very, I'm going to say very weak bot lane as far as kill potential, it scales incredibly well. I mean, the Ezreal does plateau at some point. It will kind of fall off after this mid game, but Senna infinitely scales.
Yeah.
As long as you play around the Senna well enough, you mitigate the aggression from this Udyr in the early game, don't let him get going too far, all of a sudden these team fights become a lot easier for the Firebirds.
Yeah, and Senna kind of turns into an ADC of her own if she gets a little bit too.
She's an ADC.
Oh, yeah.
She's quite silly. Man, it'll be a tough one because despite the fact that I think that Carthage has a very minor edge, mainly because I think that Fiora and Senna are very strong champions, it'll still be tough to play. This is no cakewalk for the Firebirds.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting, like what you said before, again, the Seraphine and Mumu. I'm not liking that all that CC that can be given those team fights. It's going to set them up immensely, and then Graves can decide to go in when it's super
Udyr.
fit. Oh, sorry. Udyr that. Anyway, well, even that. Then
I would have liked
Udyr
Graves
with
more here, honestly. Looking at this team, I think that Graves would have been better here, but we don't know if they play Graves. Let's see, do they play Graves? No Graves. So,
but yeah, it looks like this time Indiana Tech, they have a little bit more tankiness to them as well.
Slightly. I mean, it's mainly through the Udyr and the Amumu, but the Amumu won't have enough gold to get that tanky, and the Udyr is probably going to be building a hybrid build, so a little bit of tankiness and a little bit of damage. So there's nobody who's truly bulky like a Sejuani. There's no like true tank on this team.
Yeah, so I'm nervous, but always excited for it.
Of course.
Can't wait.
Of course. I'm excited to see how these junglers play in particular, what lanes they'll play to. I think that Carthage is going to want to play towards top side a little bit more, especially because they have this roaming to Leah. But honestly, this Udyr could go anywhere and find success. But we will see that after our short little break. I'll be back with you for some more Carthage League of Legends.
High Wheaton shoves that right over to the Lions half. Looks like this one's going in. Oh, you Oh, but don't open behind. We're gonna see the barrage. The barrage.
Oh my gosh, Nico is just dominating right now.
What a play!
That's disgusting.
Oh my gosh.
That was disgusting.
To our weekly haiku. Today's haiku I call Top Kingdom. Fiora is dumb.
That's 5.
R auto Q flash auto.
7.
E auto is death.
5. Beautiful.
My goodness. My goodness. We
Amazing.
created a masterpiece today.
Gotta sign your name.
Oh, right. My bad.
Send it to the museum. History has been made.
The greatest League of Legends haiku to ever exist as we see the invade coming through. Wow, they've just... We need to see some level 1 action. They're on the opposite sides of the map. Come on, type in all chat or something. Meet us at Baron Pit. We need something here. Smart play, though, because this is... The funny thing is, they're doing this because they think that each team is going to do the same thing that happened last game. So they thought... So Indiana Tech thought that the Firebirds were going to sit in that same bush, and the Firebirds thought Indiana Tech were going to invade through the top side again. But they did the opposite, so the same thing happened, and we're sitting here like, what's going on?
This sounds a little bit too smart that I can understand.
Okay, let's...
I know, I get it.
I want to make sure that my co-host
understands. It's a bunch of mind games, so I don't like it.
Let's break it down, okay? So you see the top of the map?
Yep.
That's where... Oh, we have a pause. We can actually talk about this. So that's where the blue team, Indiana Tech, ran through last time to try and get a cheesy little kill, some cheesy little gold.
And then we just completely swapped it over. Both teams swapped it over.
But the Firebirds thought that they were going to do that. They were going to walk through the bottom side. So you see the bottom side.
You know what's... Oh, I just realized something crazier. When the ward was up there, they didn't know it. When they tried to use Oracle Lens. Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Except I think that the one advantage is that Indiana Tech did get a little bit of vision down. So what is that pause? Do we know what the pause was? Let's get some info here. Oh. No, okay. Got a little bit of a taste there, but I am not a... cannot read that fast. So back into the game. Both junglers are... Man, the junglers are just on the same page tonight. Standing on the same side of the map again. So we're going to see a little bit of action here. But Sejuani will be able to get to Voltaire sooner because hopefully she does not do as many camps as the Udyr. Because the Udyr are real clear and faster. Fun fact.
Yeah, you know, using the little spirit powers.
Exactly, running around. That's Udyr.
So, quick question for Udyr is that even past level 18, do you still get those points to level up your abilities?
But do you get more points? No, you only... So even though you... Okay, so you have 20... possible options to level up, but you can only put 18 points in.
Oh!
So you...
That's interesting.
See, this is the part of the matchup that is very difficult. Until you hit level 2 and actually get riposte, the Fiora is kind of vulnerable to the poke that Aatrox has, so that's why you see this whole health disadvantage. But now is when this lane will start turning. Now is when you'll start seeing the difficulties of this counter matchup come through.
Sorry, I had to...
Good Gatorade there.
Yep. Oh, that's a very nice one.
That was the parry, and now he's going to try and go for an all-in. He is a level down, but he has those vitals, getting that healing back. Good trades. I think this is... You're right in the spot that you want to be as the Fiora.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the amazing... what's that word again?
Riposte. R-I-P-O-S-T-E. It's essentially like a counterattack, a parry.
I'm just going to call it a parry.
That's fair. So everybody, that's just the ability name is Riposte. Most people call it a parry. Now that they're even in levels here. Okay, see, I kind of wish that that Allspice would have just skipped the Krugs and just 5 camped through the Wolves, Raptors, and Red. But now you see, even though he only did 5 camps, the Udyr still cleared his whole jungle faster.
Oh, wow.
Although it looked like my goodness, Proliferate was not in a lot of danger there. They did have the heal and the exhaust available, or just an exhaust, it looks like, just the exhaust available. But the damage coming down is still a danger, because now you have options like this, flashing forward, Proliferate will go down, first blood goes to Winnie, and that's no good. Having your scaling Seraphine get first blood into this team is now the lane becomes really difficult, because the poke that you were putting down before is not going to matter as much. You just have the AP to be able to sustain through it with the healing and shielding.
The thing that I find most difficult about a Seraphine, or the most annoying, is just that auto attack being able to get even the range getting larger and larger.
Raven the Goat's got to be careful here. Zapdos Darkwood is in. He does have the Ghost available. He is running. Raven the Goat does get the flash and the Q away. Is he fast enough, though? He is. Barely does get the kill. Voltaire picking that one up, and now Winnie TV is in trouble. Allspice is in the bot lane. They're trying to give this kill to Uthprod, who gets it. That's who you want to get the gold. I mean, turning that bot lane right around there. Having that Ezreal with that extra gold is massive.
And looks like they're going to Firebirds will be about 600 gold down.
Hey, pause. One question that was asked here by the tech team. Do we think that Raven the Goat's going to play safe for this game? I can say safely no. Dies to another gank within the first 5 minutes of the game. Just what we come to expect from the aggressive gaming. What are we in, Worlds? Because there's a lot of at Worlds, there's a lot of pauses.
Yeah, I heard like that, and there's a lot of glitches going on as well.
Yeah, indeed, a lot of bugs.
So
got the Riot Spaghetti code coming in clutch here.
Good thing I'm not very good at this game, so I don't have to compete up there.
That's good. Hey, there are benefits and downsides. You do get paid a lot of money to do it.
Nah.
All right, welcome back to some gaming, eh? Back to League of Legends, right where we want to be. Ooh, Auspice in a great spot here. He definitely has a good game opportunity. Does get that initial stacks off. Is dashed on by. Okay, good move back. He might be able to get this here. He has another dash, but they have another knockup. Proliferate is in a great position, but they choose not to follow. I'm probably worried about the ADC and support roaming up after their reset. So I think smart play and good damage there from the Firebirds.
Yeah, most definitely. It's just a little bit of a bummer being the Silas had no mana to sustain this.
Okay, Raven the Goat is in a little bit of trouble again. Likely not getting away from this one. He'll try. Does actually get the sweet parry there. He's got a lot of healing, but the slow is more off. He's dashing forward. Okay, he goes down. Aatrox with the second kill of the game.
Ooh, that's gonna hurt. So what is the main thing that Raven the Goat needs to do
Ward.
to get back up?
Ward, be a little bit more mindful of where the jungler could be, but once again, okay. One thing you need to kind of understand with this pathing is what the jungler, what their goal is, who they want to get ahead. It's pretty clear now, at least, that their goal is to get this Aatrox super ahead, just because it's a tough matchup. But to be fair, Udyr skipped all of his camps and just ran straight to topside again, which is kind of unpredictable. Like, you don't usually do that. Okay, so we'll see how they continue to try and push this advantage to the top lane. Now we get a little suggestion here from the tech team. Man, we gotta taking some bets on Raven the Goat's KDA. They don't know how to do this flash forward. They will get that stun now. Oh my god, this Udyr is playing so well. The pathing is so good from this Udyr so far. That perfect lane gank. He may not be farming, but he is picking up enough kills and enough golden experience for his team to where it's worth it.
Yeah, and with that, that's almost a 1k gold, or a little bit more than a 1k gold lead. That's gonna hurt.
It certainly will. Another kind of unfortunate thing is that the Senna will not be able to go attack speed boots here, instead opting for tenacity boots to boost lucidity. So kind of being forced into a more defensive playstyle against this engagey comp. As we were saying before, though, how are we going to take bets on Raven the Goat's KDA? How are we going to do this? Should we say, like, if he's positive by the end of the game?
I'll do that.
Do you think he's going to be positive by the end of the game?
I don't think I can say that's my roommate. I don't want to say. I will be the positive one. I do. Oh.
Okay, good ult there. So just farming the gold from first strike.
Okay. A little bit of a.
It's kind of going very dangerous all in here. Raymond the Goat does have a ton of damage off. Allspice should have probably waited a little bit longer on that. Gank, we're frozen. Anyways, but Allspice should have waited a little bit longer on that gank because it was very clear that Voltaire wanted to push that forward. So he would have ran all the way to turret if he needed to try to get that kill.
Yeah.
So if Raymond the Goat was able to bait Voltaire in a little bit further, he was putting his own life at risk. But keep in mind, he had the ultimate, so he had that extra healing there. So they might have been able to pick up a kill with just a little bit more patience from Allspice.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's just rough having that Udyr run around and just having that anxiety though, and so now it's just gonna put the pressure on the Firebirds. But back to the bet. I will be positive. And I will say that Raymond the Goat will be going
under
positive.
4 deaths. Is that what we're saying?
I'll go positive, KD, with this one.
I think we'll go over under 4 deaths. I think that's easier.
Okay.
So do you think it's gonna be over or under 4 deaths?
I'll say over, but positive.
Okay. So you think it's gonna be over 4 deaths? I'll take that. All right. Loser buys each other boba tea. We will see how that goes.
No. I want Raising Cane's chicken instead.
No, this is what Techman said. He said loser buys other boba tea. Well, back to League of Legends. We've talked way too long about this. Game plan next for Indiana Tech will be grabbing the Rift Herald. They want to continue to push this top lane advantage. They have a 12 CS lead, 2 kill lead. They need to get more of an advantage off this top lane because obviously the golden experience is nice. This little advantage is cool and all, but without that, giving over dragons, I mean, like, Allspice can just play around the bot side at this point. So it's very dangerous if they do not continue to grab golden experience from the top lane.
Yeah, for sure. And it was looking a little bit dangerous up there for a minute, having Silas go up there. Ooh.
Blitzkrieg playing the lane to his best of his ability, really. Only thing you could hope for is a little bit more roaming. I expect going forward that he'll try to use that ultimate to get some roams towards the bot side in particular. I think that's going to be their win condition. Fior's a little bit too far behind to start playing for her now, especially with how strong this Aatrox is. So I would like to see a little bit more pressure from the bot side from Allspice. I want to see more ganks there. Really good two-man ultimate. Does get the cleanse off, so Arthur could actually try to turn this around. Now the ultimate's coming through. He's going to be able to dash away, but Proliferate has the slow, deciding not to chase. Really well played there from the Firebirds, using that counter engage, using the cleanse to stop the CC from the Amumu in its tracks and getting away. I mean, it's all you can ask for.
Yeah, doing a little bit of quick beat right there.
Yeah, happy feet, trying to get away, and is able to. So ultimately, the goal has been succeeded in. Has succeeded in the goal. All right.
And I like that Blitzkrieg was noticed that Firesong was trying to move around a little bit and just stop them in his tracks right there, doing a little bit of damage.
Indeed.
He's over by the bush.
One thing to note, so Arthropod's crowning jewel is his Prowler's Claw Ezreal build, which he didn't go this game. I was kind of excited to see him build it, but I guess he just decided wasn't the best option here. Man, see, this is the tough part. Raymond the Goat does get those quick trades, but there's just so much returning damage from the Aatrox just because of how strong he is at the moment. You can't really truly win an all-in at this point unless there's some very bad misplay.
And it looks like that Aatrox is also building Grievous Wounds.
Yep, gotta build that right away just to mitigate the healing. I mean, Fiora does have a ton of healing, trying to go in. And the jungle, once again, played really well around his lane. It's just going to be trying to drop that Rift Herald in the top lane, evading vision. Raymond the Goat has no... He showed. That's unfortunate. But he is still going to be able to drop the Rift Herald down. We'll be able to get that extra gold for the top laner for the Aatrox. That'll be very important. We'll likely be able to zone away Raymond the Goat from this CS as well, as top lane, this might just be the tower here. They played their big knockback. Octopod is going to be able to almost get it. Combo. Incredible range there from that Seraphine Ezreal duo. Both ults being used to secure the kill onto Firesong there.
Yeah, very well done. I was, it would have been a little bit sad if that Senna ultimate worked and the Ezreal just kind of wasted it, but that ultimate does come up or fairly quickly.
Oh, it absolutely does. And Winnie's in a little bit of trouble out there. A little bit worried about the jungle here, but Proliferate does still have that slow available. The Q comes through. The root is going to be blocked, flashing away. Winnie will almost get away. They're going to get that returning stun, but there's a lot of damage onto the bot lane. Going to be using that ult or the teleport to try and get through. Blitzkrieg is in the bot lane, so they're going to pick up one. Now Voltaire is in, though. He has the World Ender available. Flashing forward, he gets one. Armed as Blitzkrieg knocked up. Voltaire gets a second. This is a great turn. Fantastic teleport. And now the chains do not connect with Proliferate. Man, what a play there by Voltaire. What a play.
Yeah, most definitely. That was really good. Just having good spacing and great timing, helping out the teammates where they needed it.
Yep, I mean, great awareness to use that teleport there. He even had the wave pushed in, so he's not going to lose really anything for this. But they're going to try to turn this around. Not quite going to happen. They have a ton of poke, though, so if they play this slow enough, they might actually be able to win it. Osspice does not have the ultimate available. That is a big cooldown. And my goodness, this is a squishy Senna immediately being deleted by Voltaire.
Yeah, this Udyr just comes out of nowhere, does a little bit of roughing him up, and just leaves. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. I see. All right, Jungler's in the bot side, looking for that gank. Raven's going to be picking up some tower plate. That's big. Going to be getting that back. A little bit of gold, but those two dragons going the way of Indiana Tech is quite dangerous. So that play not working out is worse than even worse than it seems, really.
Ooh. There goes a rock.
Ooh. Playing that well, getting some good trades off. He's going to be strong, I will say. Out of all the members, that is probably him and Arthur still the biggest carry threats. A lot of gold is being printed by the first strike rune of both Blitzkrieg and Arthropod. So they're doing their best to just stay safe and scale through this game.
And it looks like Blitzkrieg also got an Oblivion Orb just to help out with those Grievous Wounds, making sure that healing off of the Silas is...
Aatrox mainly, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually 4 members here, a ton of healing. They got the Aatrox, the Udyr, the Silas, and the Seraphine all able to heal. So that Grievous Wounds is going to get a lot of value.
Yeah, I'm hoping that the rest of the team will follow suit in that. That would be extremely helpful, just making sure they don't all those shields and heals just kind of go away.
You really wish that you had a better support to utilize that with, though, because having to build Grievous Wounds on your mid laner who's trying to carry is a really big issue. You're losing out on a ton of gold by investing into these Grievous Wounds items, and they're not great stats-wise either. So it's a real risk putting this gold in so early. But they believe it's worth it just because of how much healing is available here for Indiana Tech.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean,
Ravengoat is caught out a little bit here. Is able to get the parry. Is able to get... there's 3 members at the top lane. Ravengoat is flashing away. He might actually get out of this here. Really, really great flash. Q, but they used it as a bait, as a distraction. They've got the mid lane. The mid lane turret is also... The second tier 2, rather, is going to take some damage here as well. And they've got the push in the bot side, so making some good plays off that overcommitment in the top lane.
For sure. I mean, and we see it around in the mid game that Raymond the Goat, at least the past 2 games have been doing that.
It's been soaking a lot of pressure, we'll say. They got a lot of attention from the other teams, and this is what I've loved seeing this from the Firebirds. Overloading the bottom side of the map, bringing 4 members down, and securing another turret. This is why they have this, despite being down 3 kills, and 2 dragons, and a Rift Herald. They still are even in gold, and this is why.
And now they just took the lead in again.
Yep, I mean, exactly what you're looking for. Ultimate going down mid. We'll collect a little bit of gold there from the first strike.
They're really good at making a good investment and good financial choices right here.
They really are, They've got some, they've got a great portfolio so far.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, fantastic.
This insider trading, wow.
Right. Another Rift Herald picked up. So far, every objective going to the side of Indiana Tech, but still, once again, slight gold advantage for the Firebirds, and that's just purely from their macro alone. So from their map movements, they've been able to generate this massive advantage. Been able to even up the game, I guess I should say.
Yeah, hopefully they can find one good fight to fight, and hopefully they'll be at Dragon.
Yep, Dragon's coming up in a minute. Only issue is they haven't hit enough really important item spikes to handily win this next fight coming up. The Fiora has hit the Divine Thunder, which is nice, but this Senna's really behind in terms of items. I mean, she's not going to do essentially any damage. The only plus side is that you have this Ezreal who's very close to the Muramana, so you have a little bit of extra damage there. But you have to be looking towards Ezreal and Talia for essentially all of the damage of the Firebirds at the moment.
For sure, but at the same time, that Blitzkrieg has been hitting their shots, same with Arthropod. So
Osprey stepping out a little bit too early. I would like to see a little bit more patience from him in these moments. I feel like maybe you could have baited him a little bit more. Arthropod was close enough to where he probably could have made an impact in that fight. But just threatening them away from that choke point is a bad idea either. As a really good pick here on Winning TV, a lot of good damage. Ezreal comes through. They're not going to be looking at anything. Now Doka's out in the middle of everybody. Does get a 3-man ult. He has no follow-up. Trying to go in. He doesn't get anything. Does get the ult in on the Blitzkrieg though. Blitzkrieg is running away. Zap gets once more, but he's kind of caught out. Senna ult is going to get everybody. And Voltaire's in the middle of nobody. This is a disaster of a team fight where Indiana Tech, Raymond the Goat, is on this flank. He wants more. They're looking for more. Osspice has the CVs, but Double Moon is going to stop that advance, and they're going to take their prize in that dragon.
that was extremely well done by the Firebirds, shifting the tide.
Arthropod finding him on the ward, standing in vision, big mistake, picking up his 4th kill of the game. He was able to get out, but a little bit scary there. They do get the dragon. Really well played team fight though. That gives them a 2,000 gold lead, most likely off this dragon. I mean, that is exactly the fight that we were just talking about.
That was extremely well executed, and at the end, Raymond the Goat just taunting a little bit under tower, and then
just staying low, just poking in, just saying boop, and then walking away.
Oh, you'll love to see it.
One thing of note, Arthropod off this reset will get the Muramana. So Ezreal has probably the hardest 2-item spike out of any ADC. So you can look to see him outputting a lot of damage in these team fights to come. I mean, he's a menace at this point.
So for those that don't know, how exactly does Muramana work? Because it's kind of interesting with the tier goddess building up to 360 stacks. And so how does that whole item thing work?
So Muramana is actually the upgraded item, I believe. I think the original item is... I don't remember what it's called, but Muramana is the evolved item. The original item you need to stack, as you're saying, Tier the Goddess. It's a 400 gold item that gives you extra mana depending on how many abilities you've used. So each time you use an ability, it'll gain a stack. I'm going to turn here. He does get that 2-man ult, but he's going to be able to E away. The Arcane Shift might not save him here, though there's too much CC. Arthropod goes down, and the Shutdown Gold will go to the Seraphine. But now Proliferate picks up another one. I mean, perfect person to go to. You need that Senna to have a little bit of extra gold, but it is a shame you give up so much shutdown gold, especially to the Seraphine, who is going to just continue scaling throughout the game.
With that, it looks like Indiana Tech will be taking 2 towers.
They have to be careful here. They may have a big flank, but they don't have the numbers advantage. They don't have the people in order to do this. They need to get out now. Osspice is in a very awkward position.
Oh, no!
Over the wall. World Ender is popped. He's going to have that extra movement speed, but will he actually get out? They're kind of playing this in a funky little way. Blitzkrieg is on this flank here. He's kind of got a good position, but it looks like Osspice is just way too caught out. Teleport coming through. They've got 5 people on top side. I don't really know why they felt like they needed another person here. Osspice whipping the ult as well, but yeah, just a little bit of an unfortunate play. Thought that they maybe had a little bit more follow-up, that maybe Arthropod would have respawned by then, but at the end of the day, still up 1,500 gold, not the end of the world.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be a little bit tough, but you know, like what you said, still a little bit ahead.
A little bit what?
A little bit ahead.
A little bit ahead.
Gold, sorry.
A little bit ahead. I mean, it's true. They still do have this very strong Ezreal. The Talia has been quietly very good this game.
Oh yeah.
But you hate giving that shutdown over to the Seraphine and giving Voltaire some more gold. It's tough.
And it looks like Seraphine is going to be building the AP version of, I always forget the name.
What?
Is it Archangel Staff that turns into...
Rylai's Crystal Scepter.
Or no, just the tier.
Oh yeah, it's Archangel Staff.
Okay.
Right. Yep, so she's going to get a little bit of extra healing, a little bit of extra cooldown reduction. So she's going to be able to be spamming these abilities very quickly.
Yeah.
And you see, I mean, she deletes waves. It's a very, very strong pick. Definitely underutilized, I would say. I think most people are just not necessarily worried, but they don't. It's kind of boring to play. So I think that's what turns a lot of people off from it. But it's an incredibly strong pick. You cannot sleep on this damage and the healing that it provides through these extended team fights.
For sure, yeah. So around that time when I first started playing the game, and I remember the amount of rage from the entire community about Seraphine's release, and I think it's somewhat still felt today.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't dislike it, but the way that they advertised it was cool. It was cool. But back to the League of Legends. Teleports are available for both top laners, so the next play is going to be towards the Baron. Blitzkrieg is standing on vision, trying to bait out some plays a little bit. Does Q the wrong way. That's okay. Doesn't really matter too much, honestly. You just want to be getting some priority in the top lane. So putting down vision, just having an understanding of where everybody's trying to go.
And look at that Udyr just lurking around.
One thing
scares me.
What?
Oh, it just scares me.
Oh,
Udyr running around with fists up in the air.
Yes. And once again, he's going, as I said before, he's going this hybrid build where he's going to be doing a lot of AP damage. He's going to be doing Demonic Embrace next into a full tank build. So it's going to be very bulky, and he's going to be able to output a lot of damage. So he's going to be scary going forward. The scaling on this Udyr is very good.
For sure, yeah. And what, which abilities is he stacking up, mainly?
Is he stacked like leveling up?
Yeah.
His ultimate and his heal and his dash, or his run fast thing, mainly. Oh. Rainbow did get the stun off, but he is just a little bit outmatched here. He will get the Grand Challenge off, but I mean, we have this Udyr sprinting at him.
Oh dear.
Got the Ghost, got the Chilling Smite. Rainbow's in trouble. It does get over the wall, though. Well played. And now, once again, they've just been using it. Oh my gosh, fantastic old combo. They've allowed killing with metal. And also, that is a massive exhaust onto Fire Song. They're turning this around. Look, they have left. Arthpod is carrying. They have too much. The teleport's coming down, but it might be too late. They have too much poke. The issue is they kind of have to commit to this. Really great ult there. My goodness, Arthropod is putting out so much damage. You see this, Arcane shifts forward into it. He's got the triple kill. Udyr has to run for his life. They're also low. The tick damage does take down Arthropod in the end, but they do get an advantage of gold off of that. Now 3,000 ahead.
That's good. That was really nice. It's like what happened before. Raymond the Goat being a little bit of a distraction in the bot lane. Yeah. Udyr went down to go help out the Aatrox, and that was 2 gone for the Baron fight.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it all game. Despite Raven the Goat being overextended, he's able to play well enough to get away from these fights and also get his team these objectives.
And then right after, immediately teleporting back into the Baron just to help out again. Very well played.
Yep, you'll love to see it. And this is a great team play that we've come to expect for this series. I mean, they came back from a big deficit. They had lost they lost the first 4 objectives of the game. They were down a ton of gold. They were down 6 kills, or 6-3 kills. But they had the good enough macro to where they were getting these platings, they were getting these turrets, in order to even up the gold, and now they're pushing for this advantage.
For sure.
What a game. Love to see it, man. All right. So, let's give you guys a little bit of a lesson on something we've talked about a lot, known as... Oh my goodness. He's talked about it so much. Coach Robert would be so mad at me. Tempo, yeah. So tempo, using that team fight to secure the vision and be able to buy the items so that they're stronger than the opponent when they come to these next objectives. So just not having any dead gold sitting in your inventory, making sure it's spent so you have these extra stats and give you the best possible chance of winning the fight. It's something that they've done well all game, and this is something, I mean, they have to continue to do to win this. Arthropod, oh my gosh, Arthropod is so strong with these 3 items. You have to be really careful. He's so slippery too. It's something that I think Indiana Tech needs to get on top of if they're going to win. You need to kill Arthropod if you're going to win this next team fight.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, Arthropod can dash almost at pretty much any time.
Yep.
So it's going to be really difficult to do so.
It certainly will. Something we haven't talked about so far is Proliferate's build. Usually you'll see Senna go a damage build, but you see this weird like tank hybrid. This was being popularized about 4 months ago. It is being seen more. It does miss that ultimate. That's a pretty big cooldown, but they have zoned away enough to maybe where they can make a play on this Baron. Raven the Goat is in the bot side. Might try to provide a little bit more attention towards that bot side to give them enough priority to actually win this fight. More gold being printed, more poke damage being gotten for arthropod. Yeah, they're just going to try to make a play towards this top side, I think. They're going to send Raym to go bot lane. They're going to try to keep that Fed Aatrox away from the Baron to give them the best possible chance of getting this. And, man, it just really looks like Indiana Tech doesn't have a super clear idea of what their next play is. They know that they have to respond. They've been responding the whole game, but they haven't really pushed any advantage. They haven't really been able to make these plays happen. All of the proactivity that we've seen has been from the Firebirds thus far.
I think the biggest thing is really that Udyr is going to be the big game changer. Because we saw at the start, once Udyr...
A little bit of a 1v1 here coming on the bot lane. They do have a lot of damage on the Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg is taken down, but Allspice is here caught out also. They don't have the damage threats at all. They needed to get away from that fight immediately. They're coming through. That might actually be able to turn it. Allspice has the damage. He takes down one.
Wow.
The Sejuani ult does come out from the... Oh my goodness, Flashing Forward, Proliferate does get the slow double kill for Arthropod. Now we see the bot lane, Voltaire picks up one, but that doesn't matter. That's not where the action matters. We have this Baron that is up. Arcane shifts over. Firesong is in trouble. Firesong will likely go down. The ultimate comes through, finally hitting Arthropod, picking up his third of the fight. Now looking their way towards Baron, although the jungler is still up. They have a chance for a steal. This is a more risky play than we can expect. They do have a lot of DPS, but a 2v3 isn't super, like, it's not ideal. You have Voltaire, who's incredibly strong, does not have the ultimate available, but still has the healing and the damage to at least kill Allspice and force them away from this Baron. Losafix has to be really careful. He cannot overstep. The ultimate does come through. He's flat. He's Arcade 54. He's a lot of damage. Wow. Oh my goodness. Arthropod is absolutely on a rampage. 11 kills. They are definitely going to secure this Baron. Now the teleport was super, super late from the Aatrox. This is now Carthage's game. They have the Baron. They need to get out now.
Oh, but Arthropod doesn't want
worried about. He does have the CC onto it, but they don't have enough people. It is a 5. Voltaire needs to run. Flashing forward to pick up the kill. Arthropod has been so clean all game. 12-2-3, carrying.
That was extremely well done. I want to move my quick review over to like what happened right before the Baron. Is that Ezreal and Senna together using their ults combined? It's just like it's happened at least I think 3 times this game, and it is absolutely wonderful. Completely saved that Sejuani with that Senna shield on our R.
Absolutely.
Wow.
A ton of shielding there from the Senna, even more than usual because the locket is going to give you that extra shielding around her. And she's bulky enough to where she can kind of be a little bit of a wall for the Ezreal almost. But from here on out, you're definitely going to look for some damage. You're going to want some more damage from the Senna, so trying to round out the build, not just be a utility player, I guess I'll say.
For sure, yeah, that would be a really good... It's so interesting, because like what you said before, I've never seen a build like this. I'm always used to seeing like Kraken Slayer and going on, but it's working out for them so far. I'm really happy to see that.
It certainly is. Now we see both teams just poking and prodding, trying to find a way in. This is the building of attention towards a big team fight. We can see it coming. 7,000 gold lead here for the Firebirds. Now the Weaver's wall is conscious to zone. They're going to try to burst this down as fast as possible. They do have the ults. They do have the damage. They do end up getting the dragon. Now it's one fight against flashing forward. He does have the 3-man ultimate. The Seraphine charms come through. Will it be enough? They have so much damage from Arthropod, but he's getting completely zoned from the team fight. Already taking down one. Trading those. They've got another Raym to go to top. Oh my goodness, what is this damage from the team? 4 quadra kill for Blitzkrieg, and that is a 1 team fight. They're going to push this advance for at least an inhibitor. They are in the driver's seat.
Amazing CC and just control of that entire fight by Blitzkrieg. That was extremely well done. And our producer saying, "Yeah, Ray kind of."
Ray is evening up his KDA a little bit now. Now has a KDA of 1 actually. So congratulations to him. Shout out Raymond the Goat. Really instrumental in that team fight.
I said it was gonna be positive.
Instrumental in that team fight though. I mean, that ultimate that he got off on the Seraphine, I believe. Man. Well played. Oh, they're just pushing the end. They have the bear. I completely forgot. They have the respawn. They have the bear. They have the stun. All right, they have 1 kill. We may have 2. That is another stun on Zephyr Darkwood. And now the Nexus will go down 2-0. Firebirds win. Well played.
It's just well done. It was a little bit of bummer what happened last week, but it looks like we just settled in, figured out what we need to do, and like we've been saying this entire time, just executing onto it, making a plan, following through with it. Great map control, great synergy, and just great macro. I'm gonna learn that one now.
Macro. Love that. Love the macro. But you can see that the last team fight that Indiana Tech got was pretty much exactly what they needed. They stunned the carries. They got the Seraphine ult in combination with that Amumu ult, Curse the Sad Mummy, but it didn't matter. I mean, Arthropod was over the wall by the time that second ult came off. And he was just throwing damage over, and it was too much. And then you saw Raymond the Goat, despite the fact he was so behind earlier, still able to pick up that kill and getting a meaningful flank. I mean,
it's just playing what you're given. It's just like
taking what you can get. Exactly.
Playing your hand. It was really well done. And I was scared that, like what you said, because that was the thing I was really fearful for, is that just CC going at you and that they wouldn't handle it. But it was so late in the game that
they didn't have enough damage.
They didn't have enough. And it was a really exciting, like, 2 games that we had.
It certainly was. And I think that one thing I was going to note is that really shows how much the Firebirds suffocated NECC in that mid game. They had nothing. I mean, the gold disadvantage was so great that the perfect engage could not turn that fight. Just fantastic play. This is a completely different team that we've seen since last week.
For sure. And definitely a little bit of that downtime for fall break and just trying to regroup. I think that helped a lot.
Absolutely.
And this is a different type of comp that we've seen, and I loved it.
It was fantastic.
It was really good. What was a little bit bumpy is that it seemed clear of what we all need to do and just putting on it. What a great game.
Absolutely. One thing we look to see going forward, just this clarity and this playmaking seen from pretty much each member. They all knew what their role was and they executed perfectly. But now we're going to review this match and jump over to Firebirds Black right as they're playing.
Oh,
we got this new technology to where we don't have to wait. We can bring the action to you. So we'll be right back with you for some more Carthage League of Legends.